Ladies and gentlemen, I have a pretty wild proposal for you all today, and shockingly, I have some pretty good evidence to back this up. It's not simply a theory, and Nintendo has in fact actually done this before. So of course, we have all seen the tiny teaser trailer for the Zelda Ocarina of Time Remake. It looks gorgeous, even though we see so little of it, and it's launching on Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026. I wish to remind you all that this does not replace the mainline open world Zelda games. Nintendo confirmed a good while ago that the open world design, introduced in Zelda Breath of the Wild and later continued in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, will in fact carry over to future Zelda games. So the Ocarina of Time Remake is not that game. This is where the exciting part comes in and where history will actually reveal the future to us, and why I'm going to say the art style in the remake will heavily influence how that next big open world Zelda game will look like in the end. You see, before Nintendo got to work on Breath of the Wild, they worked on another title. That title was Zelda Wind Waker HD. A Wii U exclusive title we will have sadly not seen again ever since. This title improved the original GameCube game graphics by a massive amount. It's gorgeous. Now, the Zelda team at the time publicly admitted they worked on Wind Waker HD to get used to HD tools and the new graphics options now available to them. Going from the Nintendo Wii to the Wii U was actually a big jump, and the team used the GameCube Zelda game as a testing ground. They then applied everything they learned from that experience into what would later be announced as Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, coming back to the Ocarina of Time Remake, I strongly believe this is happening again, and they are testing out what the Switch 2 can actually do through this remake before it is then applied to the next mainline open world Zelda game, and will likely maintain a similar art style. Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild both kept a very cartoony art style, and from what we can tell with this remake, I think Nintendo is finally willing to flex what they can do, and Zelda will have more realistic graphics. Which makes sense. You can't show off their latest hardware if at a distance you can't even tell it looks better, and you need someone like Digital Foundry to do a technical breakdown and let the audience know. Now, this was originally where the video was going to end, but I managed to make some AI mockup screenshots of Zelda Breath of the Wild graphics cranked up to 11, and I want to just perf on these smexy graphics with you all together. Okay, so this is mockup number 1, and I have to say, you can't tell me you don't feel anything looking at this. Look at how amazing this is. Look, I know there's a lot of hate for AI out there, and look, there's pros and cons to it, but look at this. I created this from a prompt, and it's so respectful to Breath of the Wild. The design of the enemies, it's what you know with graphics that we could have only dreamed of, with graphics that we wish was there to begin with. And I'm not saying that the next big open world Zelda game is going to look as good as this. Probably not, but you know what? This is one heck of an inspiration. It looks freaking fantastic. I love it. Imagine if you're a fan of Zelda and you've really enjoyed Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and you just spent so much time running around that world. Look at how detailed and beautiful this is. The landscapes you would see. Wonderful. Let's go to another one. Okay, so this screenshot I particularly love for many reasons. It's maintained that the color, the saturation, the designs, everything looks the way you imagine, but it looks a million times better. Imagine having these sort of cutscenes where they look this good. Look at the green rupee, that gem. It looks wonderful. This Garuda chick, I forget what you call them, but she looks the part. This is so much more immersive. It would make the world feel so much better. And look, while the graphics for the next big open world Zelda game may not look like this, and while the Zelda Ocarina of Time Remake may not look like this, maybe it's not too far behind. Maybe this is not too far behind. This isn't pre-rendered graphics I've generated. I specifically told it to have game-like graphics. Like, this is as if Nintendo used the Unreal Engine and just, went to town and so forth. I mean, look at this one. Look at this. Imagine you're standing there. Yes, you can maybe nitpick, it doesn't look as cartoony as it should be, as beautiful as it should be. Yes, it's a concept, relax. This is a concept, you know. We're just saying these sort of graphics will one day be possible, and we might be really close. I mean, I finally got my hands on a Switch 2 recently, and of all games, I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, and yeah, that was originally a Switch 1 game and so forth, but the way it runs effortlessly, flawlessly, even though you can destroy the entire world around you in so much vibrancy and color and detail, you can tell it's running all that, and barely, it's like the system isn't even struggling. So as far as I'm concerned, we have no idea what a first-party Nintendo product can look like on the Nintendo Switch 2 if they decide to take things seriously and push things forward. Yes, Donkey Kong Bonanza looks fantastic, but yeah, it was originally a Switch 1 game until it evolved. Zelda Ocarina of Time Remake, that's going to be a Switch 2 experience that, based off the trailer from what we've seen, it has a much more serious tone. It has the darker... And then you have pictures like this that just make me lose my mind. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. We're not too far away from getting games that look this good. Sure, the water may look slightly different, but if you removed Link, imagine you removed Link from this screenshot and someone just told you, hey, this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive game. You would believe it. You wouldn't think it is beyond the realm of possibilities. But you see Link standing there and you're like, nah, mockup, sketch, AI, it's never going to happen. It could happen. It could happen. I want to play that next big open world Zelda game. I want to stand on top of cliffs and I want to watch a sunset because those amazing games let you do that. Anyway, getting a little carried away here. I just want to ask the question, I want to pose it back, the original discussion of what this whole video was about. As far as I'm concerned, the Ocarina of Time Remake is just a test for the Zelda development studio to get used to the Switch 2, because the Switch 2 is so much more powerful than the Switch 1. And I think whatever art style we see in the Ocarina of Time Remake, we will see that in the next mainline Zelda game. I mean, they did it with Wind Waker HD to Breath of the Wild. No reason why Ocarina of Time Remake isn't laying the groundwork for the next open world Zelda game. And why not? Why not? And I hope they do. I hope it's more realistic. I'm over the cartoony. I'm sorry. I'm over it. I'm over it. Zelda used to be about a different art style every time. That was part of the magic. Every time we got a new mainline Zelda game, it would look different. It was deliberate by design. And Breath of the Wild came out and was super cartoony but super revolutionary, and we accepted it. And then Tears of the Kingdom came out, and let's be honest, it looked exactly the same. Gorgeous but the same art style. Enough of that. You can't release a game that is super cartoony while still showing off the new, brand new, spanking smexy hardware. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be photorealistic. I'm not saying that it needs to be dark colors. No. You can be hyper realistic and still have an explosion and saturation of beautiful colors. Realistic doesn't mean grey and white. So tell me, do you believe that the Ocarina of Time Remake is once again a testing ground for the Zelda development team to learn some new tricks of the trade that will then be applied to the next big Zelda game? They have done it once before, and graphics wise, the jump from Switch 1 to Switch 2 feels almost as big as it was going from Wii to Wii U. Anyways, with that said, God bless you all, and see you next time. Alright, bye bye.